Hey everyone! Welcome to a new video. Let's take a look at some new malicious compliance stories, shall we? The first story is called Refund Compliance. Last month I cancelled my business voice over IP line after 7 months of only having 25 to 50% of the services I'd been paying for. I kept calling the tech support in the 7 months. And depending on which service, they'd get one of the issues fixed for about a week before it went down again. But the other issue, they never got fixed. Midway through, I asked for and got one partial refund for a month. But I didn't have the time to keep up with it on a regular basis. When I put in the cancellation request, I had 2 months left on my contract. I asked them to waive the cancellation fee and paying out of the last 2 months of the contract due to the service issues. This was about $142. I figured it was simpler and less expensive for them than asking to calculate out a refund for the other months of no service. But my request was ignored and I got an email about the cancellation. So I sent another email asking for the waiver. It was declined, with no explanation. I popped over a third email saying if they didn't want to write off the end of the contract, then perhaps they'd be willing to give a refund for the % of services I had not received. I calculated this out to be about $158 and asked for a refund of $16. It was declined again, and I was told I could call billing to request a refund. Which I did. I figured I'd negotiate for the $158 refund. But I was told they couldn't do refunds back for that many months. They could only do 3 months. I rolled my eyes and said fine. But then the glory happened. I was given a full 3 months refund. $217. So I and they spent a lot more time and they gave me $75 more than I'd be willing to accept. The next story is called Cleaning Compliance. After graduating from college, I worked for about 6 months as a cashier at a local branch of a chain sandwich shop. Mostly it was a great job. Customers were mostly polite. My coworkers were friendly and helpful. And I genuinely believed in the company's products. Even my bosses were pretty great, except for one. We will call him the jerk. The jerk was belligerent, vindictive, nitpicky and pretty much an awful boss in every way a boss can be awful. He had the type of bad no excuses policy that defined excuse as literally anything besides yes sir. Of course sir. I could go on and on about all the different ways he was terrible. But this story is about one specific flavor of his awfulness. During our shifts, each employee had a certain section of the store they were assigned to keep clean in addition to their duties. The cashier section was the front counters and display and the coffee kiosk. I don't know if it was officially the manager's job, but as long as I worked there, whoever was the shift manager always took care of the outside patio area. Except for the jerk. At first, he would just say things to me like, "I'm really busy right now, could you clean the patio?" Which was fine. Part of the job description stated that if you had free time and the manager asked you to do something extra, you did it. So he was well within his rights. But one day he suddenly started asking me why I was shirking my duties by not keeping the patio clean. After all, the patio was part of my section. It wasn't and never had been. I asked the other cashiers and they all agreed they'd never been told anything about the patio being part of the cashier's section. I didn't mind helping out with the patio if my other cashier duties were done. But it irked me that he had taken something extra I was doing to be helpful and turned it into something that I was neglecting my duties if I didn't do. It felt like a bait and switch and I felt cheated. The bigger problem though was that keeping the patio clean through my entire shift was a huge pain for me as a cashier. In the afternoons, I was often the only one at the counter, and customers would trickle in with a few minutes between each group. This meant that I was constantly having to run back and forth between the patio and the register. Naturally, this confused customers and made it hard to get any actual work done on the patio. One day, when this was particularly bad, the jerk came up front and started asking me why I hadn't cleaned the patio. I started to explain that I kept having to come back inside to serve customers, but he cut me off. I don't remember his exact words. but it was something along the lines of, "That's no excuse. Cleaning the patio is your job. Now go outside and do your job. Don't come back inside until the patio is clean." The last sentence was music to my ears. I assured that of course I would do exactly as he said, went outside and started cleaning. A few minutes later, a family walked past me through the front doors into the store. Through the large front window, I watched them stand, confused, in front of the register. There was no one at it to serve them. The jerk had gone back into his office to attend to his oh-so-important manager duties. I continued to clean the patio. A few minutes later, another family came in and joined the first, standing confused and now annoyed in front of the counter. At this point, the jerk must have noticed them on the security camera because he came out of his office and started ringing them up. Then came another set of customers, and another. The jerk was at the register, so he had to serve them. He was now being forced to cover my job because I was too busy doing his. I finished cleaning the patio and came inside. And the jerk immediately tore into me, asking where I had been, why I wasn't at the counter, couldn't I see there were customers? I put on my most innocent smile. "But you told me not to come back inside until I had finished cleaning the patio." I assumed that meant you would take care of serving customers, since I couldn't possibly be at two places at the same time. He just glared at me for the longest moment, then mumbled something about how I should have known what he meant, and I was never to pull a stunt like that again, and he shuffled back into his office. Not much of a victory in the grand scheme of things, but seeing the momentary flash of panic in his eyes as he realized his "do as I say, no excuses" policy had backfired, had me giddy for the rest of the day. The third story is called Free Gas. This happened about 6 years ago when I moved in with my partner at the time. Our realtor managing the property gave us a form and we filled it in. There was a section that asked about us, requesting all utilities being connected on our behalf: gas, power, phone and internet. I ticked the no box because I wanted to choose my own suppliers. We moved in and power was on and gas was on. No internet yet, but that would take days or weeks. But I then realized that I never called the gas and power company. I forgot. So when I rang them and gave them my details, they said it's all confirmed and connected already. What a coincidence that the utilities the realtor connected us with was the same company I was going to sign up with. 9 months go by. One day I come home and there's no gas. But the power is fine. I call the company and they say, "You haven't paid your bills." Now let me rewind for a moment. Ever since moving in, they never sent us a bill. I requested to receive them via email, but I never got one. I also checked my spam. But each quarter, our utilities get billed quarterly. I'd get a bill in my letterbox addressed to the previous tenant. I'd mark the envelope RTS, no such name, and each quarter I would ring the gas company to tell them I got another bill addressed to the previous tenant. They'd respond with, "Oh, okay, let's fix that." Anyway, back to the present day of the story. I'm on the phone, trying to explain the gas disconnection issue, explaining that we haven't paid our bill because we never got one, and so on. They look at my account and then ask me to confirm my name. Once again, the previous tenant's name appears. I explain to them that I've sent every bill back to them and called each time to resolve this. They deny it all. Never heard from me. No records. So I ask them, "Is the gas disconnected now?" They say yes. I say great. I'd like my gas at this address to be connected under a new customer name, please, because it appears to still be under the previous tenant. They tell me I can't do that. They tell me I'm the previous tenant. So I ask them to confirm my identification. I give them my name and they have zero info about me. I tell them I'm hanging up now. You can call me on the number in your system for this account to confirm things. But go easy on the person who answers, because they haven't lived here in 9 months. I hang up and ring back immediately. I talk to sales and sign up a new account. The gas is connected the following day. So in the end, I got 9 months free gas because no one at the gas company would listen to me. The last story is called Bankruptcy Compliance. To preface the story, I hope nobody of you has ever to deal with what happened here. My ex and I went bankrupt due to him not paying bills and his company going under. We had joint names unfortunately, as I was working and he needed my name to buy the business. It was bad, but that's a whole other story. I've always paid my bills for every utility. So when all this went down in January this year, all other contracts, including a salary sacrifice car, just continued on. In December, I smashed my phone screen. The repair cost was about $800, so I used my insurance that I had been paying as part of my phone plan to replace it with a brand new iPhone. $50 per month for the service and $75 per month for the phone. I got a call in early March from the telco insolvency team telling me I can't have a contract with them due to the bankruptcy. They said they want to change my phone to a prepaid account. They also said we cannot have a home internet and landline account with them anymore. Which freaked me out. No Wi-Fi and kids at home. I checked it out with the bankruptcy trustee and they said legally it's not a problem. But if the company policy states it, they can do it. I also spoke with the telecommunications ombudsman and they told me I could fight it if I wanted to, as I'm still under contract. I had a big argument with the telco on the phone. I was trying to explain that my bills were always paid early and that it is in their best interest to let me continue to pay out the contract, as their fees were on top of the purchase of their phone and modem. No go, she did not want to hear a bar of it. I shopped around and found a new internet provider and landline, and then let the telco swap me off my plan to prepaid. I then ported my prepaid phone number over to the new internet company. I have had the same number since my first phone and didn't want to change it. Then the telco sent me a bill to pay out the iPhone and the modem. The bill was $2,300, which I promptly replied with the bankruptcy number and trustee details. I also included the passage from legislation that says they cannot contact me about it again. The best part is my new company uses the all companies network. So my coverage is still excellent, but it also uses another company as well. So it now is actually better. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. And please leave a comment with your favorite subreddit for future video ideas. Have a great day. Bye bye.